Okay, how about this? Today's video is about how to remove a rear tail light from a 2017 Trailhawk and how to replace the bulbs, the rear parking bulb, the rear left turn bulb, the parking bulb, and the backup bulb are one and the same, so it should just be two bulbs. So here we go. It's going to be a two-part video. Okay, so this is part 2 of the how to remove the light from the 2017 Trailhawk. Okay, so the hardest part, this goes here. As you can see, there's a connector there that has to be released, okay, before you can take this off. But prior to that, put this back in place. Underneath here, if you notice, there is a hole where this goes, okay? So it's got a specialty tool that you can utilize to screw that out of there. So I use this device, which happens to actually fit that perfectly. Okay, it's a hex device. Okay, fits right into. I'm trying to do this with one hand, but it fits into here, as you can see, right? And that screws out of there. Okay, when you release that, then on the inside you have to release this panel off of the side door here, the safety panel, which actually goes in like this. Okay, all right, you just put your finger in here, release that, pull it back. Okay, and then you'll see your fuse box, and back there, right where that hole is, right there, that hole, this will screw it in. So I used one of these, kind of like a 30-degree needle nose, or whatever you want to call it, device, to get in there and get it started. The rest was pretty simple to screw it out. But if you notice, there's, you can put a nut on there and get it out, or you can just use the two knobbies to twist it out. It wasn't that difficult. A little firm because it's probably never been taken out, but at the end of the day, once I remove that, this light slid out, and that piece right there, I used a screwdriver and pushed the tab in on the top right here. Pushed this little tab in right here. Pushed it and pulled at the same time, and it released it and allowed the whole light housing to come out. Okay, so then the next part, if you flip it over, on the back you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4 screws that have to come out in order for this to come off so you can access the bulbs. Okay, now with a regular Phillips screwdriver, I was able to remove 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you do that, this housing just comes off just like that. Okay, so you can check. As you see, you got access to all 3 bulbs, and looks like definitely they actually don't look like they need to be changed from what I'm looking at, but they're out. So all 3 of them have like a dark tint on the side of it, so I'm gonna go and get the bulbs to replace these. Okay, so I went ahead and removed the 2 bulbs that are faulty, and I will take this to the store, AutoZone or wherever, and ask them if they have either the 1057 or whatever this other bulb is. We'll find out when we get to the store. Be back soon. Okay, now we've replaced the bulbs. Got 2 new outer bulbs for 12 volts and the 921 for the center volt bulb. Excuse me. Now I'm gonna put it back in. So if you notice, there's a section on the bottom there that fits around that housing. So we just put it in there, just as such. Just fits right on top. And then put your full screws back in with the Phillips head screwdriver. Okay, now got your 4 Phillips heads installed. And now we'll take and push the light. Put it the right way. This way. Back into the housing. And we have to assemble that. Has to go back into the centerpiece. Okay. Right there. Just go back into the center section right there. This piece goes into there, and then the other screw goes in that housing right there. All right. Okay, now we'll start it up before we screw it in all the way. Foot on the brake to start, and we're gonna check. See if it actually works. Well, in this particular case, we have a burnt prong in our housing here, which is part of the real problem. And looks like here's the part number and the connector part. So $120 for the housing, and the connector itself, the wire harness, is $500 on the low end. And that's coming from the dealership. Thanks for chiming in. Have a good one. Okay, so this is our old part with the burnt connector on the inside, if you can see that. And we went to another dealership, maybe 20 minutes away. We got a deal on the part that they said would be $120, and we ended up getting a part for $70, which was a lot better. Okay, got the new part, and has new bulbs, correct bulbs, and the connectors are not burnt. So let's give it a second and we'll pop it in. Okay, so got the new part, bulbs in place. Going to, like I said, with the cutout, good right there. Going to put the new piece in, and then secure it with our screws, about 4 of them. Phillips head, of course. Screws. Switch hands real quick, make it easier. Okay. Phillips. Probably have to stop this just to screw them in, but nevertheless, simple Phillips for a head. This is probably one of my more favorite screwdrivers. One of them actually has a, what do you call it, a magnetic head, so it'll stick to the screw, but this one seems to work just as good. I think that this one actually has the same thing, but it's a little worn. Doesn't stick as good as it did when I first got it. press. See, there it is. See it sticking to it? See, if you can get one of these, this works great because it will basically, the magnetic part will make it easier to hold on to the screw. Just go around, tighten them all up, make sure they're all good. Okay. And then we will put it in. All right, so the next piece. This certainly goes in. Let's move our connector out of the way. Push that out. Then we'll slide it in the slot. And bolt it. Alright. Just 1 second and we'll show it when it's done. Alright, so now we're going to test it out. We got the new light in. As you can see, the brake light is working. The actual, just like that side, is working. The red part, we'll touch the blinker, and then I'm going to put it in reverse so we can see the white part, alright? 1 second. Stop the blinker.
Yeah.
Reverse.
There she goes.
Good?
Yeah.
And that concludes our video for today.